world-famous scientists from Switzerland developed a cure for COVID-19 and all its variations. That is not only 100% effective, it's also completely safe and amazingly cheap. Hi, I'm David Sorensen from StopWorldControl.com. In the nation of Bolivia in South America, 100 people died every single day due to COVID-19. In the city of Guayaquil, literally every single family was infected. There seemed to be no hope. Death was lurking around every corner. Until the biophysicist Andreas Kalker started treating people with a very simple solution: chlorine dioxide. In a matter of 4 days, every treated person got better. A law was made to allow this treatment nationwide, and the death rate of 100 deaths a day went down to virtually zero. What is this amazing treatment developed by this scientist? You can hear all about it in this video.
Well, actually it is, I'm researching around now more than 13 years on one single substance, that's chlorine dioxide. And this substance has very amazing results when you use it as a therapeutical. What it does actually is it increases the oxygen to the blood on one hand, and it eliminates pathogens on the other side. And it doesn't matter if it's a virus, if it's a fungus, or it's a microbe, because it does it by oxidation. It means it's like electrical shock or burning, you know, and bacteria can be resistant to be burned. And it's a very small oxidation, but it's a big effect, because this oxidation is big enough to eliminate the single virus, but it's not big enough to harm the cells. First, we make the first tests in preliminary tests in Guayaquil in Ecuador, which was one of the cities, or maybe even the city most affected by death in April. Because in the city itself there are more than 15,000 deaf people, so there's basically every family affected. The Helsinki Protocol in the number 37 clearly declares that every doctor can use anything he thinks there might be a use if there's no other approved medicine. There might be laws that forbid it, like the FDA or whatever, in the country, but we are speaking about supranational laws, and that's the human rights. The human rights clearly state you have the right to live, and even the UN is saying that a doctor can use anything. So there is a legal base to use this substance even without being approved. And so they tried the first clinical trial. They had 104 patients at that time, and 97% were cured in 4 days. We have the proof now that we can say in the phase 1 and phase 2 or 2A, we have 100% success in every case. Wow. What happened is that in Bolivia, at that time, it was very, very bad, because we have to remember, in Bolivia, we had about more than 100 deaf people, not cases, deaf people every single day. It's a small country, only 12 million. And what happens there is they tried it first in the police and the military with Dr. Callis Paris. She was working with us. And they had a huge success in the military and the police because it really worked. And they found it out and said, okay, let's make a law, because we don't have the time to wait to see the people die. As the politicians got ill as well, and they treated themselves as one of the military doctors that saved them, they said, we have to make the law, yes or yes. You can see that the death rate from over 100 people in only 2 months went down to practically zero. We have a group in 20 countries. It's called comusaf.com. So it is. There are more than 4,000 doctors using it in more than 22 countries, I have to say, exactly now. So, and we have registered more than 20,000 cases with PCR positive and negative after only 4 to 7 days. So this is a fact. The fact here is that we have to save lives, because that's really important. And there are two kinds of people: the people that want to be saved and the people that want just to follow like sheeple and to get vaccinated. Everybody is responsible for his own life.
Why is this miracle treatment for COVID not major news on every news broadcast, and why is it not on the front page of every newspaper? Why is this being hidden from humanity? And why is every other cure for COVID, like hydroxychloroquine and budesonide and hydrogen peroxide and ivermectin, why are these cures for COVID always being suppressed? And why is an experimental, life-threatening, DNA-altering vaccine being imposed on humanity as the only solution?
There is an industry who wants to sell vaccines in a way. It is not a pandemic, it's a plandemia. It's a planned plague we have now. My book has been banned on Amazon. My YouTube is right away erased anywhere. Even Facebook has been cleared. PayPal accounts have been shut down, and now it comes, even in ResearchGate, where I was, I've been erased. We have to understand that the big tech has just the power to erase whatever they want, anywhere they want.
Yeah. And why are they doing that? What is the bigger agenda behind this?
This is easy. We are too much in the world.
I'll say that again.
It's easy. We are too much on the world for them. They don't need us.
So,
because in 10 years the cars will be driven automatically. We need with AI, if you have GTP3 right now, so you don't need taxi drivers, you don't need truck drivers, you don't need farmers, because everything goes automatically. Doctors will not be needed as much either, because the diagnosis will be differential diagnosis made by AI. The lawyers will go down if they will not be needed, because AI is faster than them, and so on and so forth. The artificial intelligence will be there in a massive way. So it is planned to be a big reset, and this is a very clear thing. The pandemic itself is just the introduction of a new world order that has been, well, announced from a long time. And that will be put into place. That's the agenda. Absolute control. In a matter of fact, I think, yes, they have the agenda, but yes, we have the right to defend ourselves against the Third World War, and that's a biochemist world war. Especially, I have found a lot of help in the military in some of these countries, in many of these countries, that are totally agreeing, because as a military, you want to defend your country.
Yeah.
You're a patriot. It doesn't matter if you're a US patriot or from Bolivia. It doesn't matter. It's your country. Yeah. And it is very, very sad to see your colleagues die. And as a soldier, you don't want to leave anyone on the field. But there's no bullet against this plague. So giving the solution, and it's a very simple solution, because it's just a knowledge. I'm not producing any substance, I'm not selling any substance. It is just a knowledge that is already out, and they are using it, and we will see what time will tell us. The Komusav is made out of doctors mainly and of lawyers. So the soldiers nowadays are the lawyers, and the law clearly states that you cannot put a substance without the agreement into a human. This is against the human rights, one, and against the Nuremberg. I'm a German, so I'm born as a German. I've been living most of the time in Spain, but as a German, you know very well that the Nazis made horrible tests, the doctors especially, in the concentration camp with the poor Jews, where they used them as guinea pigs. And they killed them. And in these Nuremberg trials, the doctor said, no, we only followed orders. Well, sorry to say, it doesn't work. So if anyone is doing that, and even if there's no responsibility for Pfizer itself, but everyone who puts a vaccine and somebody dies can be charged of genocide. And in the Nuremberg trials, the doctors were executed.
Okay.
Because genocide has no prescribes never, and there's no asylum ever. The lawyer group is getting very big. We have even a commissioner of the human rights, doctors inside that are from the Human Rights Commission, and professors from universities of international law. So there are very high class ones, and it would be great to have more lawyers in there as well as doctors. So any doctor and any lawyer is welcome.
There is so much more to say about this. There is hope for the world, there is healing for humanity. If you want to learn more about this, then go to the website stopworldcontrol.com and make sure to sign up for the free emails. You will receive powerful information that will show you what's really going on in this world, and that will allow you to defend yourself, your beloved ones, and the world against the greatest crime in the history of humanity. Go to stopworldcontrol.com and sign up.